Hey guys, Nerkan Gaming bring you another unit showcase. This time we'll be doing the Fire Shasa HWA. Here are her stats, and here are her runes. The slot 1 here basically helps me survive in R5 so that I don't get wiped by the boss at 25%. Her base stats are decent. Her multipliers aren't extremely good, so I doubt that she'll do a significant amount of damage. I'll put in a Theomars here for damage test, and we'll see the comparison between the two units. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a pretty big difference because my HWA is ruined somewhat tanky, and Theomars is pure nuker. And yes, we land armor break on the Hellhound. We'll use first skill here. 27k. That's okay, I guess. Theomars does 42k. Yeah, it's a pretty big difference. Although if HWA procs her third skill, in which she does a second strike, it will be double, which will be 54k. That's actually pretty decent, but I still wouldn't use her in PvP because you can't count on the second heal to hit. And we'll test out her second skill. It does nearly 25k. I have speed buff here, so I'll probably definitely do more damage on my first skill compared to second. I'm ruined speaker in a damage attack, so if I ruin attack rate damage attack, I think without speed buff, my second will do more. Anyway, here is a run of giants. This is my giants team. I use it all the time. It's usually about a minute and 10 to a minute and 20. Very consistent. I don't think I've ever failed with this team ever since I found it. I'll explain the units here. My Lucian doesn't have the best runes nor skill ups. He's really here to clear out the crystals on the first, second, and fourth stage. And my HWA and Galleon plus together, they can prevent the boss from making a move. The only move that the boss will make will be his counterattack. Tower is here for the nuke, and Theomars is here for the extra armor break. Sometimes my Galleon doesn't have armor break or gets resisted, and then I don't really do damage to the boss in that situation, and then Theomars can kind of help. I don't really want to use Theomars if I can get another really high damage dealer. For example, if I get a Teshar or something like that, then I will probably reduce Theomars. Replace. So here I land armor break. As you can see, HWA landed slow, so the giant has a really low base speed, and if you land slow on him, it's pretty significant because he actually won't be able to move, even if you sometimes miss your attack bar reduction. The most OP thing about HWA is that her passive doesn't glance, so if you landed it on a water unit, then you would still reduce your attack bar. That's pretty OP in my opinion. Okay, here is a run of dragons. I don't really usually use this team because it's not very safe. My Lisa second skill isn't really max, and I don't really have accuracy on her. Her focus is mainly speed, HP, and resistance for raid, so I didn't really care about her accuracy that much. I think that this works pretty well if you can replace Lisa with Spectra. Spectra's AoE attack bar reduction together with HWA's single target attack bar reduction will pretty much lock the dragon in place so that he'll never actually get to move. One thing I didn't mention about in the other dungeon is that HWA actually provides very safe runs because a lot of people actually have problem with the mini boss compared to the final stage. In this situation, if Galleon lands armor break on the dragon, HWA will always attack the armor break broken unit, and then you won't get fiery breath to the face. It's comparatively safe, and you can kind of shorten your runs as well if you use them together because you won't get cooldown. Their cooldown won't be reset. Anyway, here is the boss, and as you can see, if I had a Spectra, the right crystal's attack bar will probably be at 0 at the moment. Didn't land slow using my Tower's Crush either, so okay, so I landed Cutting Magic here. If I didn't land it, then I'd probably wipe here, but I did land it, and I think I can pass just like this. Okay, yeah, I passed because this will happen, and Tower will pretty much nearly one-shot the boss even without any. If you don't want to use Tower here, you can use Tark, the Water Hellhound, Verd, Hua, Tark, Galleon, and Spectra. This team should work pretty well for a speed clear. This run was 2 minutes. Usually it's a little bit less with this team, but I guess I didn't do really well in the first few stages. Finally, we go to the last dungeon, which is Necro. In this scenario, I don't really use Hua because I have Xihua, and I think Xihua is faster in terms of clear time. Although, as I mentioned, I do think that Hua will provide a lot of safety measures in your third stage. 40% leader skill from Xihua is very significant because I would have 3 fire units, and it will increase in some damage. Hua, for Necro, I actually don't really suggest her because there are better options now. Pretty much Come To Us released All Heroes not long ago, which is Ron, and they also released Ridgel a while ago. Foucault is also a very good candidate. These all land slow at a pretty high chance to provide more in the boss stage compared to Hua. However, Hua does have the advantage in the third stage, as if the Dark Lich's allies die, then that Dark Lich would increase the attack power. Sometimes when RNG goes wrong, his second skill hits one of your units, like all on one of your units, then that unit will probably die if you kill the 2 golems on the side. However, Hua will provide some safety measures here because, as you saw, the Lich never really got to move at all after they started focusing on him. Yes, so next up is how to ruin her. I think for Necro, you would want Violent Revenge, attack crit damage attack. For any other places except Raid, you would probably want Violent anything speed crit damage attack. For Raid, I think Swift Revenge speed crit damage attack is the best build. There's also a weird build, Speed HP. I personally don't really like that build because I think her kit doesn't warrant a spot on the team if she's simply there to reduce 25% attack bar. Maybe others will have different opinions, but that's my opinion, and I think she's better off built as a nuker, even though her multipliers aren't like insane and she doesn't have the best base stats in terms of damage. The reason why I really don't recommend her that much in Necro is because she doesn't provide multi-hits. You can't really rely on a 20% to land an extra hit, and even if you do land, it's still only 2 hits. Let's say you put it in Xihua. Actually, let's just compare it to Ridgel and Foucault. Like, their first skill does 3 hits, and their second skill does, I think, 4. Like, that's already higher than Hua will ever do. So even if you do have her, I suggest just not using her for Necro and use her for other places. People used to build 2 when Necro first came out. 1 Hua as speed, which you use everywhere else, and 1 Hua as attack, where you just use in Necro. In this case, I don't think it's worth it anymore because there are so many units that can do the job better. Okay, this run was pretty slow, but as I've said, it's safer. I still prefer the faster run because I get more ruins like that. So finally, we'll talk about raid. I won't go into a raid, I'll just talk about my raid composition. I have 3 leader skills here: crit rate, defense, and resistance. And each of these units land a unique debuff on the boss on their first skill. So I'm always super high on the 3rd chart in assist. However, this team lacks damage, so I'm usually around 25 to 30% on the damage panel. It's still decent, it's okay, it's like acceptable, but definitely if you can get better ruins on her, she will do more damage. Alright, thanks guys for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment in the section below, and subscribe. I'll upload videos at least 1 daily. Thank you for your time, and thank you very much. Bye bye.